Hello everyone. Today we are canning peaches on the farm, so I am excited about that. I source them locally from a farm market. I do not grow any fruit as of now. I would love to get an orchard going, but just haven't really found the time. So we are going to can some peaches, and I'm going to show you how I do it. I know there are several different methods, but I do the raw pack method, and then I hot water bath them for 30 minutes. So let's get started. So now that we got all of our jars filled with peaches, cavity side down, this is optional. You don't have to add this. I make my own homemade vanilla extract, and after I go through a jar, I keep the jar with the beans in it and just put the lid back on, put it back in my pantry. And I use the beans to put into my jars of peaches. So that way they don't go to waste and just get thrown away. Or you can actually keep reusing beans for vanilla extract, but that's a whole thing by itself. So that's a whole nother video. But for today, I don't need any more vanilla extract in my pantry. So I'm going to use these beans to add to my peaches. And it doesn't take very much at all. So like one bean, you just want a little piece about that big, maybe half an inch, no more than an inch, because you don't want it to be super vanilla-y. You just want a little hint of vanilla. So 1 bean is going to do all 7 of our jars. As you can see here, I'm just going to add 1 little piece of bean into each jar. Okay, now we are ready to go ahead and make the syrup. I'm going to do a heavy syrup because for us, peaches are a treat. They aren't really something that I'm trying to be healthy with. Whenever I crack open a jar of peaches, it's usually for dessert or to put over ice cream, or sometimes I do serve them for breakfast, but I usually am using them for dessert, and we just eat them in their raw form for dessert. So I do a heavy syrup. I do a 1-to-1 ratio, 1 cup of sugar to 1 cup of water. You can lessen that if your goal here is to be healthy, but mine is not. I love peaches. Peaches are my splurge in life. So I am not going to skimp out on the sugar because for me, peaches are my one thing that I like to eat in life. So I'm going to do it right. While the sugar's dissolving in our syrup, I'm going to go ahead and add a little vinegar to a bowl with some hot water and go ahead and get our lids soaking. Again, some people boil these on the stove. I don't. You just need hot water to activate. So for those of you that are new to canning, you'll want to make sure to watch this part. For those of you that have been canning for years, skip this part. But these are the lids, and by putting them in warm water, ideally hot water, you activate this rubber ring around the edge, which then is what creates your seal. So getting these wet before putting them on the jars is very crucial. So I need 7 lids here. I'm going to go ahead and start them soaking. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and fill the jars. You want to fill them up to that bottom ring. Some people will make their syrup on the stove. You can do that. I choose not to. I just make a little bit at a time, enough to like can as I'm going. Because I'm one person and I don't want my peaches to sit, because the longer they sit, the more brown they start to get. As you can see, that jar is starting to brown just a little bit more so than this jar. That's still bright yellow. So the longer they sit, the more they brown. So I just do 7 jars at a time because I'm one person and I can only do so much. Next, we're going to take a knife. If you see there's like a little air pocket there, you just want to take the knife and go around the edges of the jar to make sure all the air is up to the top. Now we're just going to top them off again with the sugar water we made. The next part is crucial, so make sure to pay attention if you've never canned anything before. You want to take a wet rag and wipe off really good the rims. With peaches especially, you want to make sure it is really, really clean because of the sugar water. It sometimes, and even the peach juice is real sugary. Like, you don't want any buildup on the rim at all, or else it will not seal and you will have done all this work for nothing. So you want to really scrub at that rim and make sure, get a new clean spot on the rag, wipe again. You want to make sure that those rims are spotless. Now we are ready to put on our lids. For peaches, you use a hot water bath. So you don't have to have any fancy gadget at all to do peaches, which is why it's one of my favorites. We do not pressure can, hot water bath them. So yeah, you don't need anything special. You just need a pot with water and then something to hold the jars up off the bottom. I'll show you what I have in 1 second here. We're going to go ahead and put our rings on. I have a ball hot water bather. It is electric, which is really nice because it frees up a burner on your stove. And then we are going to let this come to a boil. Turn it to canning here. Let it come to a boil. Once this boils, you process them for 30 minutes. Since we are doing quart jars, it is 30 minutes for the quarts. As always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something about canning peaches. If you have any questions, please leave them down below in the comments. Also, let me know what your favorite peach recipes are. I would be curious to try something new. I love peaches so much, so I am always looking for new recipes. Well, I better get back to canning. As you can see, I still have a half a bushel of peaches behind me to finish processing up this evening, and then of course cook dinner for Mr. Morton. So have a busy evening planned here, but it was nice having you with me today. And as always, please make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.